Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We hope you're watching live right now at gasdigital.com. Use promo code LEV just so I get paid 49 cents. And we've got two amazing guests in the building. Just first thing I wanted to say really quickly, I got to promote this. June 28th through 30th, I'm headlining 5 shows at Yonkers Comedy Club. If you're around, come the fuck out. El Orlando's featuring, Doug Urum's hosting. It's going to be a great time. And just make sure, we're about to be at 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Let's hit that this month. Like, comment, do all that good stuff for the algorithm. The lights are literally going out around us as we speak.
Could have been subtle about it. Chose not to be. All good.
And we have two amazing guests in the building. I'm very excited to have them both on. Returning to the show, Zahid.
What's up, dude?
I said Zahid again.
You did it again?
I put the
didn't
B
hear
on
it
it.
that time.
Zahid Dewji.
Dewji.
Woo!
We go through this
There's no way
every
Dewji.
single
There's
episode.
no way Dewji would be correct.
We
Does
go
that
through
sound?
It's just not.
What is it
Does
again?
that sound?
It's Dewji, because I told you that the Indians can't get their W's and their V's correct.
Does that sound correct at all? Is Indian Dewji?
That sounds like
Dewji.
That's
Whatever. I can promise you the fans won't get it right either.
They
All right? So
won't.
just
I just think if you think it's Dewji, I would just be like, how do you pronounce it? I wouldn't-
All right, look, guys, Zahid's here. All right, that's what matters. He's a very funny guy, and we're glad to have him back on the show. It's going to be a punny episode. When
it
he's
is,
on.
man. We get into it.
And returning to the show, hasn't been on in a while. But one of the, I mean, you guys are both hilarious guys, but I mean, Raanan Hershberg, just such a prolific, hilarious stand-up
Oh, thank
comedian.
you.
He's on because he has a brand new special coming out this week, which means if you're watching on Gas right now, and I see you guys, I got the chat pulled up, it's dropping this Thursday. So I think the scheduled post is already up. Go to Raanan's YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Raanan is a fucking great
Oh,
comic.
thanks, man. Raanan Comedy. That's my YouTube handle.
Yeah, let them know. Raanan Comedy on YouTube. Let them know we sent you. And if you're watching this on Friday, that means the special dropped yesterday. Go on YouTube, find this special, drop a like, drop a comment for the album. Please let them know.
Called Brave.
It's called Brave, Raanan Hershberg on YouTube. I actually will literally go, when we promote somebody's special, I go through the comments of their special, and I look for people that say, I came from the Lev Fer Show.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of them makes me feel so good. So look out for all 3 of those this week.
It's pretty desperate.
Yeah, I was
You said that in such a bragging tone. It was so confusing.
I
You were like-
specifically was like, I'm not gonna be a dick right now. I fucking was like, don't.
I
do
just
it.
I
Don't
like
do
to
it.
see the
Don't
army
do it.
fucking.
Well, you just said it in
showing
such
love.
a. You were like, I will scour all the comments to see if anyone
I look for
at
my
all
name.
mentioned my
It's more
show.
than you'd expect. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's
I
people
go
like
to
it.
your special and I look for my name.
Raanan Hershberg, Brave. Where'd you shoot it?
I shot the Village Underground.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
Nice.
yeah, I'm excited for it to come out finally. I tried to get like an email, like a website that it goes directly to. Though my director said that was confusing because it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But if you can't remember all that, you can go to. The problem is what I found made me seem really retarded. Go to bravespecial.com.
Bravespecial.com. That really does sound
And that'll
retarded.
take you to the YouTube link. Yeah.
It's about
But,
Ranaan going swimming without a shirt on. Just now.
How funny it would be when you said 5,000 subscribers. I just left it. I was like, oh, I thought it was way more.
I'll
see
be
you
honest.
later.
As I said it, I was like,
That's good.
no,
that's
that's
great.
dog
That's
shit.
great.
We pull above our weight class. We really do. Oh, but your weight class is already so high. Shut the fuck up,
just
Zahid.
look
I
up.
didn't say anything.
You just look up
I'm
and
trying
both
to
these
make-
chairs are just spinning. Gone. We're gone.
I'm trying to make this episode different from the last.
I don't remember what the fuck. This show means more to you than it means to me. I don't remember what happened to the last
I just
one.
remember we made fat jokes for an hour.
Can I say I was
what
doing
it
my own
was.
podcast today. We're talking about how I was talking about how great you are. I
What?
was saying since you've gained weight, you're such a better person.
Who was on the episode with you?
It was me and Joe Letts. He was
an even fatter
he was going
person.
against that. But I was saying you used to be kind of an asshole, but now you've gained weight and you're great.
Well, yeah,
Being fat brings out the best in people.
I agree. I like this take. What did Joe say?
I
What
feel
did
like
that
I'm being called an
motherfucker say?
He
asshole.
said
right
you're
now.
still an asshole. I said, no. He's great now.
No,
He's part of my community. He's great. You can't be hot and arrogant.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a fat, arrogant retard.
Well, that's
now.
fun. Fat arrogant's fun.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
fun. You know, I like a fat, arrogant guy. I
Yeah,
like those
well, it's
guys.
a little.
I feel like
people
I'm with
can
two
be,
of them.
People can be like supportive. You know.
Yeah, I am
They're like,
literally.
yeah, you go.
Like a belt.
Sure, you're the best. You know.
There's the thing. There's a cuteness of delusion attached
Yeah.
to that guy, which is fun.
It's like when Jeff Asmus acts like cocky. He's like retarded.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like not. It's not annoying.
You know what I'm gonna say?
Well, that's a character he's playing. This is Lev's real life. Jeff being cocky.
Wait,
is,
that isn't a fat suit.
You thought it was a fat
That'd be
suit
so
melting.
funny.
It's just... No, you know what's funny? Jeff Asmus. You look at that guy. I would not think that's a guy I'd get along with. And then
He's
I hang
the
out with him,
sweetest guy.
and I'm like, this guy's great. He's a great hang.
Great hang. Yeah.
The drunkest, some of the drunkest I've ever been in Chicago was with him.
He's
Oh,
a.
really?
I really
Yeah,
like
he
him.
was fun,
Like-
yeah, we used to be roommates. He always tells
What?
a story. I lived with him for a year.
I didn't know that.
I like to take baths a lot,
Yeah,
so I was taking a bath. I don't
I
care.
heard this about you
Have you
recently,
heard
actually.
the? But have you heard the story?
I have not heard
Wait.
the story.
I'm
no.
pretty excited.
This is a story that's like embarrassing for me and him.
Yeah.
But more embarrassing for him.
Okay.
So I used to have. I love a bath. So if I have roommates, I'll take a bath. But if you knock on the door, I'll get the fuck out. You know what I mean? But I will take a bath. And I
I just love you quickly shuffling out of a
Wait,
bathtub.
wait, wait. But you'll take a bath when you have roommates, like in somebody else's tub that they also use.
Well, yeah.
I think
but
that's
it's-
fine. I don't think
yeah.
that's a
I mean,
problem.
it's,
Can't
but
do
it's
that.
also my bathroom.
They're
They're
using
like
the shower.
I know,
A
but
roommate is like.
showers on the feet. Bath is whole body.
I don't buy.
I don't know.
I don't buy any of this
Coming in there and
I
shit?
don't buy any of this germophobia bullshit. We all have spiders shitting in our mouth 12 times a week, when
And
we're
we pay good
sleeping.
money for it.
Yeah, I don't. But all it's like my girlfriend. She's all germophobia. It's not real. You don't have control. You're really gross. You don't realize
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't know if I could bathe in a tub that other people use. That's all.
just one autistic man,
Yeah.
one other autistic man who doesn't go
Yeah.
out.
I will
Yeah.
say I'm kind of in the middle on this.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
kind
can't
of
do it.
Well, this is why it shouldn't happen.
It's like it's like
I'm about to tell a
I'll say
story
this.
that proves your
It-
point.
by the way, it feels like getting into Jeff's bed and taking a nap
But I
when he's not there.
I have,
wouldn't
like-
do that.
It feels like getting into his bed and taking a
Here's
bath.
the thing, though. I take a bath every day. I've always done that. I can't like stop that. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
I was taking a bath and he was afraid to. He had to go to the bathroom, and this was like years ago, and he was afraid to like interrupt me.
Uh-huh.
So he just shit in like a bucket or something.
Oh my
No.
god!
What? Yeah. It's a story he tells. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. I would have got it out. I didn't know.
He had a spare bucket available to
He
shit.
shat in something. Yeah.
It's my Ranaan's bathing bucket. Holy hell!
Anyway, that's what the special's about. It's a solo show about that.
It's
Well,
about
you know what's
Jeff's
so funny?
experience.
You know, it's and Jeff, by the way, has he just dropped a new special, and I gave it I was quickly in passing. I gave it a few minutes. It was great off the rip.
Did
So
anyone,
he's
was
killing
anyone
for
there
like
from the Lev Fer podcast?
I didn't tell anybody about it.
He was like, I was scouring the comments.
great.
So shout out to him. But I need to get him on the show too. I was gonna say I was talking to your girlfriend and
Love the beginning of that
little
sentence.
little pillow talk.
See, if you were thin, I'd be so annoyed right now. With that line, I was talking to your girlfriend. I'd be like, get the fuck away from her. But now I'm like, yeah, sure. You're like,
Is that a threat? Fuck him.
now I'm like, yeah, what was she saying?
She was actually because I was telling her I was like, you know, Ranaan, he's just always writing. He's always got so much great new stuff.
Oh,
He's
that's nice.
it always makes me laugh. And she was like, you know, he actually, and we can edit this out if you want. But she goes, you know, he actually writes like in the bath.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just
no,
joking.
that's crossing the line. I just talked about someone shitting their.
I was like, you shouldn't tell people that. Because I pictured you like, I was like, who's
Like
he
a
thinking is
feather
Winston
with like a-
Churchill?
yeah.
He's
A
like
feather pen.
That's what I do. I saw there's this movie called Trumbo.
yeah.
By Dalton
Yeah.
Trumbo, and they show him writing a screenplay, and he's in the bath. And he has a great setup. Well, he's on Adderall,
Yeah.
which, or speed, whatever. But he has
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
A table
and
that
a-
goes
and
across.
a typewriter, and I'm like, that's fucking genius.
People have
Yeah.
that. You can buy
I
that.
just write with my notebook.
I was gonna ask you what your bath setup was. Like, what's the
It's just a tub and
no
you know,
candles?
sometimes I do candles. Sometimes I will do candles.
Candles, little
yeah.
bath bomb.
Wow.
I'm not making fun.
No,
I'm
no, I
asking.
do.
I'm
I
asking,
do
I'm
bath
asking.
bombs and candles. Yeah.
And,
I
holy
love.
shit.
I have like a speaker. I'll bring the speaker into the
I was
bathtub.
gonna say,
And he
but-
doesn't
Turn the
mind.
lights off. What?
And he doesn't
Yeah,
mind.
He doesn't mind. The TED Talk speaker, and I'll bring it to the bathroom, play like yoga music and have candles and just
Yeah.
lie in the tub. It's awesome.
It is funny to play exercise music while you lie still in water. Just like other
It's
people.
funny
are-
that you think yoga's exercise.
It's hard work, that yoga. What are you
He
kidding?
goes, hey, touch your ankles. He's like, whoa, this is fucking
Not
crazy.
an Olympic. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I mean, I loved taking a bath. It was the shit. And then I started feeling very guilty that I was taking up too much water.
I don't care.
And then
about
I
that.
stopped.
Is that an issue?
I
No,
feel like
guess
you
I
take up
don't
more
know.
water showering.
Can
That's what they
I?
always said.
Constantly
But I
going.
think that might be from Big Bath saying that.
I used to feel
According
the
to
same way.
chat, if Lev takes a bath, he needs a pool. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know that. But how did
It took me
you?
like 2 seconds.
That might be Big Bath talking.
What? How did you? Where did this bath thing start with you?
I want to know when did you tell your girl? When was the first time you were like, this girl?
I mean, I said
like,
it
do you
right
have to
away.
like go like, by the way, I have this thing where I am.
I mean,
like,
it's
she.
a thing.
it
Well,
is a thing.
You think that's a thing?
He just said he has a Bluetooth speaker, a bath. Like you
Well,
have
she
to
does it
kind
now
of
a
tell
little
though.
too. Well, I mean, she didn't like. She knew about it way before she moved in. So like, it's not like. It's
But
not
you
like,
have to tell her like, hey, I'm in the baths.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, she didn't move. Like, she was. I mean, I'm a pretty open person. I mean, I just
Yeah,
told
yeah,
you
you
all
are.
that in
Yeah.
2 minutes. So
That's true.
self. I think it was probably brought up in the first or second date.
Yeah.
You know.
She's like, why is the ceiling leaking?
But she, you know, she takes baths too. I mean, baths are great. I don't get why more people don't do it.
They are great, but okay. So here,
For me, when I started, I'm like, oh, well, now what do we do?
the
there's
whole
nothing
thing
to
is I'm
do.
just worried I'm
You
fucking.
read and write.
I know. I'm just gonna sit there and be like, I don't know.
I read and write in the bath. That's what I do.
My two bath hesitations are literally this. It's
Uh-huh.
one, I'm a piece of shit wasting so much water that the environment probably needs. Two, I'm so fat. What if this thing falls through and I'm one floor lower in 20 minutes? It's a legitimate fear of mine.
Really?
I
Fears
swear
that
to
you're
God.
gonna fall through.
I genuinely think me and the tub fall through and I'm in some guy's living room.
Maybe start doing yoga.
What's more embarrassing if you fall through? Is it that your weight broke it or that you're taking a bath?
I was showering.
That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna break through. I mean, I assume.
Is this career advice or
you
is this backup bath?
for both? I mean, where do you live? I mean, do you live like in the third
In a
world
bathhouse.
country? Like, yeah.
I fly in from Zahid's
Is it
parents'
not
house
good?
every day.
Is it not good? What do you call it?
No, it's a pretty nice building,
Foundation?
but I'll tell you what, our
Yeah.
our upstairs people, they've had leaks out the ass. I mean, they fucking
I have that.
once every it's like a decent building. Once every 3 months, I got supers in my house. They're fucking Chinese guys painting the ceiling.
But
It's a whole
leaks are
thing.
fine. It's not affecting you. It's affecting the people below you. Who
Yeah,
cares?
and they're good in a
not you.
soup.
I was gonna say, why do they call them supers? They're just fine.
Hey, I hear the room laughing. The room is laughing.
I come here to do shitty jokes. I only.
You're really bringing that Fallon humor.
I
here
really
tonight.
don't. I don't. You keep his name out of your fucking mouth.
You're like a scimitar. They're laughing outside.
You're doing all the jokes that were too controversial.
Oh yeah, he's like, hey, please don't bring up
pun's a
bad
little,
It actually is a
Ah.
very Fallon joke. I think they're just fine.
Yeah, but I'm aware. You know,
yeah.
it's fun. I do this to Lev outside like cellar, and he literally shakes his head and walks away from me.
No,
and
you
I
know,
go, dude, I come on your podcast. He goes, well, we're not doing the pod now. I go, well, you're no fun. You know?
you know what it is I think
And he's a fat guy. You'd think they'd be
He
a
like
little bit.
he like puns.
I do like a pun, but the thing is, I feel like outside. You know what? Actually, I will say this.
You're too serious outside the
I'm
show. I
too
told you
serious
this too
outside,
much.
but that has
I've told you
recently
this too much.
changed. That has changed.
When you're silly, it's funnier and
Yes.
fun and more
You're not.
fun.
You're
I'm a lot more silly nowadays. But
I find you silly.
I used to be very stressed out, and that's what it was. I was career stressed.
Yeah, I hate that. That's,
Now
that's
I'm
my
fi-
one.
now
It's
I'm
my
fine.
one part about like that. I don't like hanging out with comics too much now because when I'm like just like being stupid, they're like, "All right, man, you can turn it off." And you're like, "Oh, I was just being an idiot."
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Like we're not. This is not on. This is just like what like I'm just being a stupid idiot.
I got really annoyed.
Like,
I got
from
really
my
annoyed at a
friends.
comic once. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was big. But we were at the table in the back of the cellar, and someone was like pregnant. Oh no, someone John Fish was having a kid, and,
Yeah.
and his wife was pregnant like a year and a half ago
Uh-huh.
or something. So it was like his second kid. But I was just like, "Is this your second kid, or has your wife just been pregnant for like 2 years?" And the other comic goes, "Do you want to think about what you're asking before you say it?"
Yeah.
And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"I will murder you."
Yeah, that's a little.
Yeah, you're like setting up for
Like,
like.
can you
I'm-
tell me who this is so I know whose side to take in this story?
It's exactly that. It's like
I'm like, what the fuck?
And it just
Like, you
makes
think
me-
I'm serious?
yeah, it just makes me go like, all right, I'll just fucking go
Yeah,
over there and
Which
have
is
fun.
a funny little question.
But
you know?
I think that
Yeah, it's
person thought they
stupid.
were riffing, but it's
Yes.
I'm not like obviously I know how pregnancy works.
right. I mean, you are it. Come on, folks.
But by the way, I was listening to
take
something.
bets.
You like the new Eminem song? I think it's so good.
I think it's decent.
I love it.
I think for Eminem at his ripe old age, I think it's pretty good.
I think it's great. I was listening to older stuff, which is so
Yeah.
great.
Oh, it's so great.
But when he's like, I'm on the rag and ovulating,
Yeah.
that's kind of him letting everyone know he doesn't know how how reproductive.
Yeah, but
systems
I mean,
work.
it's
Would you want Eminem to know?
You get a little leeway.
I'm on the rag and not on my period and ovulating and pregnant and
You know what? Can I be honest with
Exactly
you?
the guy that wouldn't know
that's
stuff.
true.
Can I be honest with you? I just learned this myself, just as you said it.
That
What?
ovulating and period. Or,
I don't think I ever.
Yeah.
I still don't even really know what ovulating is.
well,
That's why
when
we
you're
have
most,
this podcast. Three guys.
It's
get
when you're
around
most
and
ripe
fucking
to have a
say,
kid, right?
most viable for pregnancy. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's the window.
But isn't
yeah.
that like a day before chicks get their period? Usually?
I mean,
It's like
before the
halfway.
period.
It's like halfway.
it's halfway.
Yeah.
Wow. I
So-
mean, I don't think they knew this kind of science back
Excuse
in
me,
the
man.
90s.
We'd rather figure this out ourselves. I hate being female splained. No, I'm joking. Joking. Sorry.
I mean, in the
That was a
90s, they
joke.
must have not
He's
known
joking.
this.
That's good. I'm glad everyone knows you were kidding. That's like the fear of being like, I was kidding.
I know. Well, I always worry.
Should women be allowed to podcast?
No. I'll just say it.
You know what? The
reminds
laugh
me of-
says it
That's
all.
the thing. That's the thing he clips up and puts out.
Just the
That
laugh.
reminds
by
me of this
itself.
great Martin Urbano joke. He's doing like some fake
Oh,
like,
he's the
interview,
best.
and he's like talking to someone in an interview,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Are women funny, and why not?"
It's Martin Urbano.
Yeah,
That's great.
So
I like
funny.
that late night set where he did that bit where he's talking about like he like says in the audience participation, he's
The
like,
Mad Libs thing.
yeah, he's like, all right, guys,
Yeah.
let's do a Mad Lib. Give me a color. Give me
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Give me
He's a
that.
pedophile.
Yeah, and he's like, the purple police officer said that I have to warn you, I can't be around kids.
Yeah. And the ending is just him looking for a place where there's kids around, and he goes, "And sorry, was that you said a gym? Okay, thank you." Just
So
walks
he's
away.
so funny.
Whatever he said.
He has one of my. He's like, if I went back in time, I would kill. Hitler. Because the first time I went back in time, I gave him some really bad ideas.
We know we
That's
started
funny.
together in Texas, and we would do these.
Oh,
like-
right, Texas, right.
Yeah, we used to do these, like-
Houston.
yeah, I did Houston. He was Austin, but I was like treated like so shitty in Houston. I was always in Austin.
Yeah.
So we just became like, tired of just doing each other's shows. But he would come to Houston sometimes, like do these like crazy, like loud bar gigs where like people like fucking yell at you and like hated you. And Martin's like silly. Like back then, it was like a very bro-y town.
Yeah.
So Martin would like come in and like do these like hilarious. Like we're like dying in the back, and everyone watching is like, "What the fuck is?" Like they're just pissed off,
Yeah.
like texting.
That's hilarious.
I like
One
that joke he has too, where he's like, people talk about like how much money would it take to suck a dick. He's like, I would suck a dick for $1 million, but not $1 more.
Yeah.
I love like a great take on just a thing that everyone's covered, but you have
Yeah.
a refreshing thing on it.
It's
I
like
once-
a retarded Dangerfield.
He's, he's amazing. I once, like, I don't know, if comics, like, when they think about coming to New York, I think, like,
Yeah.
one of the good things about moving to New York is, like, when I came to New York, like, you watch shows, and if you weren't on the show, it wouldn't be loud on the shows yet. You'd just be like, I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that guy. You know?
Yeah.
But then you're always better than everyone. But then one comic shows up that makes you want to quit.
Right,
And that's why it's good to be in New York. And I remember we did the Knitting Factory, and I had a set that was really good. It was
Yeah.
a good set, but it was just like
Whose stuff are you doing?
it was just a set, and then he went up
Yeah.
and did something like so brilliant and
Yeah.
made me want to fucking quit comedy, and that feeling, that pain, made me really want to work harder and express myself harder, because it was like a bit that like. Where
Mine goes the other way. I go, I'll just stop.
well,
Like
like
a fucking drink. I'll find a reason why that guy sucks. I'm gonna ask around.
I'll do some gymnastics.
You just walk around. That guy like seems like he hits his wife, right?
well, it wasn't like I could never be like as alt as him, but I was
Yeah.
like, in my own way, I need to go deeper.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to
I get
come,
that.
because he had his whole bit. It was I can't remember the whole thing, but it was like something about how, like, one of the problems about doing comedy is he can't watch his own comedy. He doesn't get that benefit where he gets to watch how brilliant he is.
Yeah.
So he goes, I want to watch it. So he gets a woman in the audience. He gives him a page of the jokes he's about to do. And he sits down, and she starts reading the jokes, and he starts heckling her.
Yeah.
But on the paper he gave
It's
her
all the stuff that's
are
written.
comebacks to him.
Yeah.
So she's like coming back at him, making fun of him as a comic.
Crushing him.
And then he fucking just like, and this is a random woman from the audience.
Yeah,
and then at the end of it, he stands up. He's like, I don't have to take this shit. I make $10,000 a year. And he leaves the knitting factory. And everyone turns back to the woman. And she looks down at the last line and she just goes, that's my time. I've been Martin Urbano. It was like watching The Prestige or some shit. It was crazy.
The ultimate magic.
That's great. I mean, if you're gonna be alt, that's a killer bit. That's a great.
But he's
bit.
not like, he's alt in the way where it's brilliant. It's not like,
Will still kill.
the good alt is where it's like just really funny for anyone. Like anyone
I
can get
was gonna
that.
say Rory. You know, you
Yeah,
watch Rory,
exactly.
and you don't get alt. You're like, that guy's just funny.
Yeah, the bad alt is
matter.
where you're referencing like a third movie in a franchise no one's seen. and
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
You're just in a bubble, but that's not him.
I just
you know?
found out I'm bad alt.
But also, I think like the idea, like I think it takes forever, and then you start to realize, like, I can only do what I do. You know, you're not. Gonna,
Yeah.
You're not gonna watch something
Yeah.
like, oh, that's great. I should try to do like that's.
No,
never-
no, and I remember I was with Andy Sanford, who's very funny. Andy Sanford was like, whatever, that's just not what I do. But I'm like, but people like the memory of my set was completely erased in everyone's mind.
You
So I
ever-
just remember thinking like, I just need to be
memory
better
of
in
my
my
set
way.
is so
You know what sucks, man, is like when you have a set where you like really kill.
Yeah.
You get off stage, and then the person after you does something magical.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
go-
what happened. I mean, I did well. Yeah,
And then you go, they just forgot I existed.
Of course.
They totally forgot everything about me. That, like,
of course.
That's
why I love
That's
headline-
why I don't watch anyone ever.
That's why I love headlining on the road way more. I mean, I guess everyone does on some level, but
Yeah.
like I like headlining on the road so much more because it's like it's not a competition.
Right.
So I can just work on getting better.
Yeah.
But on a showcase, you're like
You're
it's
golfing.
It's a it's a
Yeah.
competition. It's
one
tough.
on-
I don't agree. I don't. I'm
Well,
like,
I mean, some
and that-
people
that
don't
should
have the
be-
time, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no,
We headline, Zahid.
Working on 45 minutes of bad stuff. No, I just meant like the.
for some
again, it's
reason
like
the
an-
12 minutes of puns that Jimmy rejected does not do well in Arkansas. No, I'm
I just no, it's not. It's not. The more I've whenever it was like a competition, it just became less fun. And the only thing I've been is like this is Kim Cattrall quote I love. She goes, "I'm not doing anything where I don't have fun."
Yeah.
And
that's
it's
great.
like something I've been like actively like pursuing. Where I'm like, oh, if I'm like doing that, like, I want to have a good time.
yeah.
And every time I have a good time, I notice the sets go better. I go to sleep easier.
Well,
like,
sure, yeah.
It's just
Can
trying
I,
to chase.
can I
like
be
that.
honest though? I think if you're trying to be great at stand up, it is like almost a joyless endeavor. Like
disagree.
I don't think you're supposed to be having fun. Like I think the only fun is like this new idea is cooking. It's developing. That's the fun.
Well, everyone's alone in their own journey, so it's different for everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
is literally. That's why you should like never give advice as a comedian because everyone is literally alone in what works for them and what process
yeah.
works for them.
Zahid was kind of just saying this beforehand too.
I personally think, like, for me, like, I think the preparation should. I don't know. I mean, I think it's good to be prepared.
Yeah, no.
But
I
then it's
just-
also
I
good to
completely agree.
forget that and have fun on stage.
Yeah, it's like this Charlie Parker quote, is this jazz musician where he's like, you basically.
Wait,
We
wait,
don't know who
wait.
Charlie Parker is.
You think we don't know who Charlie
and you
Parker
didn't, and you had to explain Kim. And you didn't have to explain Kim Cattrall.
I didn't even catch Kim Cattrall. Who the fuck is that?
Why
How
are you
dumb do you
trying
think
to
we
make
are? He bathes every day. You think he doesn't know who fucking Charlie Parker is, you piece of shit?
That's insane. Charlie Parker.
He's got a whole radio
Literally
in there.
went, Charlie Parker. He's a jazz musician. That's insane.
Why?
I
Some
mean, maybe
people don't know.
I mean, like,
Don't
maybe-
point at me like baby.
Look,
I
this
read
is
Miles
why.
Davis's fucking autobiography.
If you're in this thing, both of this looks the same. From my standpoint, I'm talking to two of the
I
same
mean,
guy.
I don't
right
know
now.
jazz very well, and I don't like jazz.
Sure.
I know and like jazz.
But I actually,
bet you didn't see that coming.
my music tastes are really bad. I don't like jazz, reggae, or black people in general. But, I don't like jazz, reggae.
Well, the
or
last part made sense.
But like, everyone knows Charlie Parker.
everyone does it.
No, I don't think
Get on
everyone
with the
does.
quote.
Natalie
You-
wouldn't know who
If
Charlie
you're gonna say
Parker is.
Charlie Parker, a jazz musician, you have to say Kim Cattrall. The what's her name?
I was
from
agreeing
Sex
with you.
and the City.
I was agreeing with you. No, Charlie Parker. He's a character on Sex and the City. And,
Yes.
he's
with the
ja-
big tits.
with the big tits. He's always having sex. No, he was saying like that like you prepare everything, you learn all the scales, you do everything. When you go up there, you just try to forget it.
Yeah.
I think there's some truth to that. I mean, obviously stand-up's like very prepared and stuff, but like when Rory like does like an hour of like improvised stand-up, you're like, oh, I kind of understand the through line of like prepare it and then try to just like be in the moment.
Yeah, and when I prepare too, it's like not like I don't write sentences down. I think that can. I mean, for me, I think that can be bad too. I think you want to try to say it differently, but like have some sense of what you want to work on.
Sure. Yeah.
I always have a set list because I think like you can break it, but to
course.
me, if you don't have a set list, how do you like remember to work on something? Like to me, I have to have a set list so I can like be like I'm going to work on this part here. But like no, I think with comedy. If you're in a good mood, you're pretty much impervious to bombing. The problem is, it's hard to always be in a good mood. The problem is you get depressed
To me,
and insecure. But yeah, that is, if you're in a good mood, you're no longer attached to your ego.
So that I'm like I was talking to one of the servers there, and he was like, it's like the other night, and he's just like, he said something about like just leaning into like being, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
But
I'm
sorry, we got
enjoy
we really cut it. He was like to me, and we all just
sorry.
like fuck that shit. You were like to me, and we were like, anyway, what were you saying?
sorry.
No, I was just I was saying like the way I kind of look at it is like in a set, I think like what you're doing is a very high focus. It's almost like you're doing like a high beam gymnastics or something like that. Like I look at it as like I want the sound of the room to be that I'm killing, but in every second I'm trying to go like, where can I be looking? What face can I be making in this millisecond? I'm trying to be so present of like giving them the best possible performance.
Right.
Like that's all I'm thinking about. And then even if I feel like I nail it, I don't get off happy. I get off like, all right, that's the standard. What's the next show? What's the next set? I need to like do that again.
Right,
make that better. Which is where I feel like it's like I don't think like Jordan when he was playing and winning championships, I don't think he was like having fun. I think he was like, I'm here to try and kill and be the best.
So funny for me thinking you're about to talk about Jordan Jensen. Really, you're talking about Michael Jordan.
I was talking about Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Also,
he's a basketball player.
Also, I think Jordan wasn't having fun because he wasn't doing a 15-minute set.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
I get this. I love the sports sound.
Isn't he kind of a sociopath a bit? No.
Yeah.
Can sociopaths have fun?
I really
don't
relate
know.
to this guy. I don't know.
Can sociopaths? I guess they can have fun.
Yeah.
I guess Ted Bundy was having fun when he was.
He was so charming. Yeah, and he was so charming.
He probably was like, that was a lot of fun killing that woman.
I don't think he was having fun. I think he was focused. I think he was in the zone.
Afterwards, he's like,
He
how
was
do I
probably
kill
tapping.
more?
He was tapping into his emotions.
Yeah, I think that's the first time he's feeling like very present and like
Presence,
alive.
present, yeah,
He's ironically he feels alive.
I want to kill
Someone
him.
else is dying.
Yeah.
Now back to you, Chad, with the weather.
He just doesn't go.
There's this really disturbing interview with him where he he always puts on that mask, right?
The other ones were good, by the way, but this one specifically was
This one really
disturbing.
rubbed me the wrong way. It was, he just kind of, he has that mask where he's trying to seem normal, and he reveals his true nature in this one moment. It's he's talking, and he's like telling the story. First of all, whenever you listen to old recordings of Ted Bundy, the first time I ever did, I couldn't tell who was Ted Bundy and who was the police. They all talk so like he talks so like
I've never heard him talk.
He talks so professionally, like you think at first he's like,
on the Your Mom's House network.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, the whole time he's like, "Oh, my name is Ted Bundy," and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Ted Bundy. Yeah.
But he says,
"This is a character."
he's like,
dude.
"Yeah, I bashed this woman over the head. And I put her in the back seat, and I was driving to the woods to kill her." And he's talking all matter of factly, and she was like really out of it. She thought I was taking her to her Spanish tutor class, and then he starts laughing, and then he goes, "I mean, it's really, really quite tragic." He like forgot that other people wouldn't find that some kind of lighthearted slapstick. He was like, "Oh yeah, I got to read the room here."
Oh my god.
This smoke break is brought to you by YoDelta.com, the official Getting High sponsor of the Gas Digital Network.
Can I tell you my favorite serial killer story? I've been trying to do this.
We're learning more about you.
I've been trying to do this as a bit. It's not working yet, but like it's not even a joke. It's just a story that I find really funny, which is that Ed
You're
Gein.
like, so I'm strangling this. Okay.
Ed Gein, he had killed a bunch of people. He had it all over his house.
Yeah. He was the lamp maker.
Yeah, well, skin. Yeah. And he was known for killing people more than that. But like, he made lamps out of skin.
And that's how you explain a character.
Yeah. And you know what sucks is a lambskin condom. I mean, those are the worst.
So someone comes over to his house to like borrow sugar or some shit, you know, which is a real problem if you're Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Because you have bodies everywhere, and someone comes over. And
I
like,
didn't even think people did that.
Man, that's what they did back in the 50s.
He's
You
like, I
come-
have
you're
salt.
I have
Cup of sugar.
I have someone's eyeball. Do you need that? So they come in, and he tries to
Yeah.
clean it up first. They comes in, and he's giving him sugar or whatever, and then the guy sees a skull on a shelf in the back, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And Ed Gein just makes something up. He goes, "Oh, that was a Jap I killed in World War II. I just took it as a trophy." And the
Yeah.
guy was like, "Whew," for a second there, I thought it was something really fucked up.
Jesus.
But I think I would have followed for that all day. I'd be like, I didn't know
I
you
just
were a
think
fucking
that's-
patriot.
I think that's, I just think that's such a funny story to be like, oh, you were just killing a fellow human being and keeping his skull.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Normal stuff. Well, maybe because you need the sugar, so you're trying to be like, I won't.
You just get
I
the
won't
sugar,
rock
get
the
out of
boat,
there.
take what I need, and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Whew, that is just so funny that the idea of like asking to borrow something from a person who's a legit serial killer that like fucking.
Well, that's the thing about being a serial killer back then. I mean, it was very easy. Every decade,
The
it
game's
got,
different now.
Now it's clips.
It's all about social media.
well, every decade got harder for serial killers. The 50s
Yes, yeah.
was easiest. The only problem in the 50s is you're right. People do the Popeye asking for the sugar or whatever.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
But-
the Popeye.
But everything else was like very.
Did somebody say Popeye?
Everything else was very easy. Like Albert Fish in the 50s, I think he literally went to a house, a family, and just pretended to be a reporter. It was like, "Can I borrow your daughter for the day to take pictures?" And they're like a poor family, like, "Sure, get her the hell out of here."
Yeah.
And he took her and ate her.
They did that in the Nickelodeon
I
dub.
mean, the way you made that sound is like he just in one bite just gulped her down. Like,
But I'm just saying, you can't do that now.
he just
like
took
a
her and ate
python.
her. Like,
You can't ask to borrow anyone's children today. But back in the
Yeah.
50s, you could do that. You know, it was a
Yeah.
lot easier.
Yeah.
Now it's like, if you're a serial killer now, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
hard.
Because
It's a
I think
hard
it's like
thing.
so hard to kill someone now. We're in a complete surveillance state just based on
Do you ever,
security
Yeah.
cameras.
do you ever walk around New York and go like, some of these people are killers?
Oh, I thought you were about to say, do you ever think, how could I get away with murder?
No.
Instead,
I
you were
just-
like, you ever, I was like, oh no, I'm one of those people.
it's like, are you ever at your job looking at the man hosting the show and you're like, where can I bury him?
But it's an interesting question. It is hard to imagine, like, if you wanted to murder someone, how the fuck do you get away with it?
Yeah.
Like a random person?
I'm sure you could get away with it, but it would take a lot of planning, and you have to lawyer up the second. You still have to. This is the thing. You still have to be
Yeah.
proven beyond a reasonable doubt by
Right,
a sharing of your penis that you did something.
Right.
You know, and that you get a good lawyer in there that could fucking just cast even the slightest bit of doubt. You know,
A reasonable doubt.
reasonable
Yeah.
doubt. Shout out
I don't know.
Jay-Z.
How would you do it?
Is that why that album's called Reasonable Doubt? That
For
would make
Jay-Z?
that'd make a lot of sense.
I thought he
you
just
like a
wasn't
legal
sure about
thing?
him. He
Yeah.
wasn't sure about how he's feeling about it.
Mm.
He's a little insecure about his own album. Pretty
Have a
funny.
reasonable doubt. He doesn't seem that insecure. Seems very confident.
Insecure rapper's funny.
Yeah.
And he
I know.
starts, everything's, he's like, trying to be more
Well,
present.
that's why I could never. I mean, like, I like some rap, but it's hard for me to get a rap because I just don't like bragging.
Yeah.
So it's just like I find any bragging obnoxious. You know, so a lot of rappers
Yeah.
like I'm the best, and I'm like, you know, there's other good people.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not a
You
competition.
got to shoot that sketch. That's great. yeah, that part is not a
I mean,
competition.
hey, we're all just trying to express ourselves here.
That's really how I feel about stand-up.
Yeah, that's what to me a rapper is like a stand-up who's just like I'm the fucking best. I'm like, hey, come on, you know, there's
Yeah.
other people who are good.
Yeah. Just in the back of the room being shitty. I'm better than that guy.
That's why I'm on Drake's side because Drake, all he said was me and Kendrick and someone else are three of the best, and Kendrick just went ballistic based on that.
Well, also Kendrick, he's not doing the same views. His last album didn't do great, and so he's like, "Oh, this will fucking get me views. This will get me
Yeah,
streams.
yeah.
This will put
But
me back on
it's
top."
shitty. I think it's shitty behavior. I think.
Yeah.
Here's what I say.
People do that in show business too.
I
though.
think those
Your career
rappers-
dies out. You start
Can I
fucking.
just say something? I think he's being mean. Are we allowed to say that? Is that like so foreign
Not
to
in
culture
rap,
now?
no.
You can't be like, I think he's being mean. He's being mean. You can't like talk about someone's kids like
We
that.
like mean though. We like when people are being mean in
I don't
comedy.
Like it. I don't think people should be mean.
I love it. You don't go on YouTube and watch these compilations of why people suck or whatever. That's what I do all day.
I don't
I
like.
just want to hear Drake come out and be like, hey, man, what the fuck?
I feel like Kendrick's bullying Drake.
Yeah, but that's what that is.
Drake
talking
had some
about-
great lines back. I gotta say, I think it went
fine.
It went really underrated. Some of his lines have some on that fucking Family Matters track. That was my favorite of the whole beef. I love that song.
I didn't get too deep into it because at a certain point it got a little.
Isn't
gay.
Too Deep your brother? I'm sorry.
I just think like
It's too deep with a B.
Too deep.
you know.
Too
Also,
deep, Dewji.
also, I can't help but feel there's some anti-Semitism under Kendrick that wasn't expressed. You know.
Well, you know,
No.
black people don't love us.
I
You
felt like
think
it was
so?
unspoken. Yeah.
You think so?
I don't know.
I feel like anti-Semitism, it should be spoken. That's how I feel about it.
This might
Usually
ironically
it goes
sound
unspoken.
racist, but Kendrick Lamar looks anti-Semitic.
That's what he meant. They not like us. Yeah. Let's do plugs really quickly. We're at over the halfway line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to end on me saying.
Anyways,
jokingly
Kendrick
saying
is
something racist.
anti-Semitic, but he's got a new
Yeah,
special.
We got topics. Before we get to plugs, let me just say this. This is a personal question.
We got plugs?
They're coming.
You know what I mean?
That would have been funny if they would have cut to you.
Yeah, but they didn't cut
He
to
took his hat off to show his bald head. Bald.
know.
It's a hair plug.
Did you wear that hat in the job interview with the Tonight Show? I assume so.
No, I think we just met on the phone.
No, I mean like a hat. Oh, you're on
It
the
was a
phone.
phone.
Okay,
It was a packet in the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
When you bathe, are you a shower after man?
Of course, I'm not a psychopath.
Okay.
Wait,
Wow,
what? That's
all
new
right.
to me. You're supposed to bathe and then shower?
You're supposed to shower after.
Well, you can't not shower after bathing.
I don't know any of this.
You're just in your filth.
Bathing is for enjoyment. It's not for cleanliness.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was for cleanliness before there was showers.
Yes, before you lived with asthma.
I guess it was better than nothing. Bath was better than not anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
But once the shower came along,
Right.
bath in relation to it is a little.
Now, does
dirty.
this change your opinion, Zahid, of the roommate
Yeah, I'm
bath
showering.
situation?
A little bit.
Oh yeah. You think I'm just? Yeah, I'm
A little
not, you
bit.
know.
A little bit.
Yeah. I'm yeah.
I didn't know you were
shower.
supposed to rinse. I didn't know it was like a pool.
I waste as much water as humanly possible.
It's
They're
funny because
like-
you guys look like you drink none of it.
It is funny that
Or you're
Natalie, make a note to
mostly
cut.
water weight.
it is funny. It is funny to be like, I defend baths. I'm like, showers waste more water, but I also take.
But I also do that right after I'm done.
But that wasn't the
Yeah.
question.
That's not what
Natalie, can you digitally impose?
You're in there riding in the shower like Kramer. It's all wet.
When are you leaving? Never. I love that Kramer episode, except for the fact that it's a shower, not a bath.
You just spilled
You
water.
guys want to bathe in it?
Yeah, I'm surprised Raanan's not on the table. Because of that little dehydration joke, Natalie, please digitally impose a flute in Zahib's hands. for the whole-
Digitally. Bring it out.
It's just it's a weird fat joke. You're like, you all don't stay hydrated.
Wait, can I?
But I guess it's true. I guess if you drink more water, you can feel more full.
I guess. I don't
It's a
fucking
very,
know.
it's a very like technical nutrition joke. You all look like
Natalie, at this point, please put a pet snake around Zahib.
I was just saying. All right, do you think? All right, this used to make me laugh so hard, and no one ever thought it was as funny as I did. But you know the stereotype of the Indian guys playing the flute.
Yeah.
But the only thing dumber than playing a flute at a snake is like it working.
Right.
Like the snake being like, what the fuck? Like that's the
Well, I think
dumbest response you could have to a flute.
Well, I think it's because it's like they hear something outside. Like if I lived in like a neighborhood and I heard a flute outside, I'd come out the door too and kind of just be
But
like,
would
"What's
you
going
come
on?"
out doing an impression of an Indian guy?
What's the flute supposed to
The
hypnotize?
snake's making fun of Indians.
Is the flute supposed to hypnotize a snake?
I guess. I don't really know.
I get
It's
so
like,
confused because in the Jungle Book, there's a snake that hypnotizes people.
yes. Yeah. It's trickle down
Interesting.
economics.
It'd be funny if the snake's just like mocking Indians. He comes out
Who's
of the
going to police the police?
he comes out of the bin. He's like, "Service records show you need a new warranty."
That's good.
Not bad.
That's good.
Write it. I want to see it on the show tonight. I was also going to say this lately, as of like 2 days ago. I had a hangover yesterday, right? All of a sudden, I would get these like tremors on the left side of my head where it would just be like hard pain.
Uh-huh.
And it just happened to me about 10 minutes ago. I think I might have a brain
Is
tumor.
this an ad for tumors? Is this an ad for like medical? Like, anyway, if you also have a tumor,
Nat, can you give me some paper towels?
He's not on athletic greens yet. He's at regular greens.
yeah,
I don't
get
know what
headaches.
that is.
Yeah. Well, you know.
All of a sudden, it's like bang out of nowhere, and it goes away.
It could be anything. I mean, like Bob Saget, banged his head and went to bed, didn't wake up. Like, it could be literally. I mean, like it could
He
be
actually
something.
banged his wife, Zahid. Okay, let's not be graphic.
It could be serious. It could also be literally. You could just be stressed out.
Remember? Did you ever see that documentary Staircase?
No.
It's the one where the wife
Nat,
falls
can you
down
hear
the
me?
stairs and he's accused of the murder.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
She
I
been
did see
out
that.
there?
I'm out here. You
So-
hear me?
Yeah, we need paper towels. Zahid
Oh,
spilled,
yeah.
water.
Oh, sorry.
So that
Creeping towards me.
it's a
Oh,
great
sorry, buddy.
documentary where the wife falls down the stairs and the
Yeah.
prosecution's like, "There's no way she just fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
She was clearly murdered." I guess she might have been murdered. She probably was, but. After the Saget thing, you're like, well, that could have happened because Saget just fell, and everyone's like, it looked like he got bashed with like
Was it
baseball
really that
bats.
bad?
Yeah,
I thought he just hit his head on like a nightstand.
No,
No,
he
but
like
they-
hit
they-
like multiple
Sorry.
The
times.
family
and-
insisted they don't put the autopsy results out.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone killed him.
I don't think anybody killed him either, but I think he was probably living like a comic.
Auto asphyxiation.
No, why was that the first thing you thought?
I don't know. That seems like the obvious thing.
All these
It
comics.
just meant we do drugs.
Oh.
He immediately went to jerking off with a rope. No, fuck. What was I going to say on this? The staircase thing.
Yeah.
Did you see the theory? They said they think that an
The
owl
owl,
did
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then I said, who? I'll be right back.
It'd be so funny if they had a trial with an owl. Like they charge the owl next, and he's just on the stand.
The owl's like, I'm pleading the fifth. They put a Tootsie Pop in front of it. And he's like, actually.
Did you kill this woman? Who? Quit playing stupid.
Sitting around.
Who?
Quit playing.
This son of a bitch is doing it again. And he can't
No, he
keep-
probably killed her.
More of that. More of
think
that
it-
in comedy.
I think it turned out he killed like another woman, or another woman fell down the stairs. He knew.
Yeah.
It looked bad.
But could there? I think there. Look, I'm the reasonable doubt. I'm Jay-Z here. I think there is a scenario where one guy dates two women and they're both clumsy.
Yeah, but
Is that the pilot you're working on? Hear me out.
It's called y'all tripping.
His whole defense is women be stumbling. You know.
Can I tell you guys my Def Jam joke I wrote that I'm trying to get into a set somehow?
No.
No, I can't tell you.
Oh, you can tell. I only want to hear
Can I
that.
tell you? No.
Moving on.
No,
The
we're
joke-
okay.
All right, tell me what you think of this one. The joke's, well, nowadays women tell you they bisexual. Motherfucker, all women is bisexual. They get sexual when you buy them shit.
Oh, yeah,
Come on, player.
What's sad is you did tell me.
Can I
The
use
tag is come on, play.
that? Can I have that?
No, this is like my best thing I've ever
Well, I
written.
was telling you about the greatest impressionist I saw on Def
Oh,
Comedy
this is the
Jam.
best. Yeah.
What do you got?
This impressionist, he's good, but it was just so funny how he set it up.
This was so viral like 15 years
Was
ago.
it? Yeah, it was viral,
Yeah,
but
it's
not
a
for
big
the
thing.
reason. It's just because it was a good impression.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It was this guy who's like, this black guy who's like, man, I went to Taco Bell and they fucked up my order. So I was like, let me speak to the manager. So the manager came out.
Yeah.
Turned out the manager was Denzel Washington. He just goes into Denzel Washington, and everyone's just like in the audience, like, you know, you could have just been like, here's my impression of Denzel Washington. Like, you don't have to. You don't have to incorporate him into a real story.
He keeps going. He's
He
like,
keeps on going. He's like, and then I complained to him, and Denzel Washington brought up his boss, who was, you won't believe this shit.
You won't believe it.
Morgan
You
Freeman.
but what's funny is
What is this celebrity? Was celebrity studded Taco Bell? It's just funny that every other impressionist is just like, what
Yeah,
if
here's
Denzel
the-
Washington was
Yeah.
this? But he was like,
Yeah.
I'm taking that. I'm going to make this real.
I'm going for it.
But what's funny is back then comedy was almost like you're like, yeah, maybe this happened. Like, it's like,
Just so funny to force.
he was a great impression.
I love watching transitions. I go in the back and I watch a comic move from one joke to another joke. I'm dying.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
it's
dying
interesting.
because if you don't do it seamlessly,
I know. It's so
comics
Ooh, that's
notice,
my
but,
trigger
but
word.
audience
The
won't.
audience never does.
Audience never does. But when you see a guy go, yeah, I don't know. They'll say, I don't know. They go, so yeah, I think if you think about the mountains, though, really. Fucking thinking of a mountain. I'm like in the back.
My favorite thing comics do, which we all do, is whenever we can't think of the next joke, we're like, man, shit's crazy.
Yeah,
now,
shit's
isn't it?"
crazy. Shit's crazy.
Every time a comic says shit's crazy, it means he can't remember the next joke.
I don't know, man.
We're so divided.
Just do a special just of transitions.
It
at the
is.
beginnings of
Transitions are
jokes.
like-
they're the funniest.
Now, when people
fucking
write
thing.
a bit that, like, when I hear a bit nowadays where somebody's like, and people are more divided than ever, I'm like, you wrote this 4 years ago. Yeah. You clearly wrote this. This is a
Yeah.
5-year-old joke.
you're
Like,
trying to.
By the way, Natalie, make a note. Zahid just reminded me. Seamless order after.
There was a comic who I saw who did
Good segue.
Use my trigger word.
he was doing a COVID joke. It wasn't like, it was during the pandemic, but like years into it, but it was so
Yeah.
dated.
Yeah.
It was about how it wasn't a big deal at first, but it had become a big deal. He was like, man, I'm not scared of COVID. So it's killed 4 people. It was like
But
it was
it's
like a joke on the
but
first
after
week.
we've and you're like, what?
It's like, what's the big deal with that? But meanwhile, a million people have done it. And he didn't
Makes no
update it.
sense.
Shout out to Jim Brewer.
I saw a comedian once. It was the worst.
That guy loves beer.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
brewer.
No, he just likes it a lot.
I saw a comedian once. It was like the hackiest comedian ever. He just did songs and impressions.
Finally, back to me.
And he had a bit about like OJ, like something with the glove. It was really hacky, but he had been doing it for so long. I remember watching it, and the documentary had just come out.
Yeah.
So he'd been doing this OJ joke for so long that it had become relevant again.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, there's a good lesson there. Like,
You can
don't
wait.
give up on dated jokes. They will come back. Just keep doing it for 25 years.
And I hope Netflix does a series around it.
Yeah.
Now it
damn.
looks so fresh. It looks like he just wrote it. You're like, this guy's fucking prolific.
Yeah.
There was something. Oh, I love Attell's fucking OJ joke so much.
What's his joke?
So when he did Bumpin' with Jeff Ross, he
Yeah.
Jesus.
whoa, what did I say?
Nothing.
No, so Jeff's like giving him shit about his flip phone.
Yeah.
He's like, look, Jave, show them your flip phone. He's like, what? It still gets everything. I get the news. And he flips it open. He goes, look at that, OJ southbound. It's like such a great joke.
Yeah, one of
great.
my favorite jokes I've heard in a while is on his special, the one where he's like, I forgot the name of it. He's talking about those people who metal detect on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? You never hear any of them say, I should get home soon before someone starts to worry.
He's so great, man.
um,
He's great. All right, so we covered the bath thing. We covered this. I saw a celebrity recently.
What do you got? Do the impression. Tell us the story. As the
and
impression.
he,
Let's get talk.
I was
So
at
I'm at the Taco
McDonald's,
Bell.
and I look out, and you'll never believe who is giving me.
It's Grimace.
Never believe who's handing me a hamburger. It's Christopher Walken.
You ordered
What
a burger.
You ordered a burger.
It got better at the beginning. I was like,
Oh.
what the fuck is that?
I used to be able to do a walk, and I can't anymore.
I feel like Christopher Walken is like a tone away from like an old Jewish woman, you know? But
I
like
could see
just a
that.
different tone.
You know who does a great walking is Jay Moore. He is a great walking.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Are
he
you
is.
fucking with me?
Natalie, pull up.
But that's like, I feel like he like originated it. Well,
he?
Kevin Pollak originated it, and then Jay Moore did.
Oh, I didn't know.
Really? I didn't
He
know
was
that.
like second. Jay Moore actually called. I read his book, Jay Moore's book, about
Yeah.
SNL, which is a crazy book. He's way too honest in it. He's like, yeah, I totally stole this whole stand-ups act for a sketch. I'm like, that's not cool. Like, you should not be open about that.
Yo,
But
that's crazy.
I think he asked Kevin Pollak how he did it, and Kevin Pollak was like, the key is make anything that's one syllable, make it multiple syllables. You know?
Dude.
Yes, you know that thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like the second person to do it, I think.
Yeah, he has a great one. There's a clip of him telling a story of walking up to, like, talking about his dog.
Yeah,
which is,
yeah.
I think it's probably like a bullshit story, but what I was gonna say, I saw this celebrity the other day. I was at a comedy club. I was at the stand. Look to my left.
A comic or a...
Not a comic.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Yes.
Heard about it.
Look at you.
I heard about it.
So
There it is there.
I look over.
That's crazy.
It's fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
I'm a Jets fucking diehard. This is the most talented
Were
QB
you
that ever
performing
lived.
and he was in the audience?
No, he went to go see Chappelle. Chappelle was doing a pop up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just pulled up like really quickly after spots, went to go grab a drink and then go home.
Yeah.
And I look, he's 2 seats away. I go, and I did like a quick look, and I was like, that's a handsome guy. And I went, Jesus fucking Christ! Like I was like, that's Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Long
you know?
hair.
He's talking to some fat chicks. I was like, he must be a good guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, which, by the way, he was having a cocktail. I hated that.
Why?
Should be in fucking camp working, bitch. What are you doing drinking? Fucking, what do you... You know what I mean? Like, the fucking season's on the line.
No, it's
you
not.
blew
He
it
signed
last
with the
year.
Jets. He
You're
doesn't
like
care.
you're all drunk yelling. You should be fucking healthy right now.
No, it's like, what are you doing drinking, you fucking freak? What are
He
you...
doesn't care.
Oh, that
Any
drove me
interview-
nuts.
I mean, one cocktail's okay.
No, he's
No,
also
it's-
doing a bunch of mescaline and like figuring himself out. He signed with the Jets.
Does he do mescaline?
He does like a bunch of a bunch
like
of
an
like
ayahuasca
hallucinogenic
guy.
like
That's
he's
a
like
big
a
thing
new.
now. We talk about the athlete like Bill Walton.
He was like
RIP.
crying on a podcast recently, like
Really?
like 6 months ago. Yeah, because he was talking about like happiness and like getting to enjoy himself. That's the funny part because in the sports world, that almost doesn't work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because like if you're having too much fun or whatever, you're kind of at war.
Yeah.
Like you're
No,
essentially in a
Brady
mini
was
war,
No,
not
you
having
can't
fun,
have
right?
fun.
So like he started
That's what I'm
like,
saying about comedy.
well,
That's different for comedy.
I'm saying it's
I'm a
different for
quarterback.
comedy. You are because you're making. I agree with that, but
You're a
I-
quarter
But you're a
pounder.
vibe.
no, it's true though. It's like,
But you're
yeah.
a vibe. I mean, your vibes also matter in stand-up versus like no one's like, Aaron Rodgers sucks, but I like his vibe. Like,
You
he's
know
just
what?
having a really good
You
time.
know
He
what?
seemed cool.
Here's
I
the
will
thing,
say.
though.
Yeah, he's like in a better
Here's the thing,
headspace, but he
though.
sucks now.
They're both the same. Having fun is great, but it's really about being in the zone, and that's like you don't even have to have fun. You have to just be in the zone or try to be in the moment. So that is
Taking
true
everything
for,
in me not
That
to
is
say
true for
AutoZone.
both.
I was just,
In both
I
things, you're
agree.
trying to get outside yourself. Your
yeah.
ego.
I personally, I was just saying, like, I personally am more like tapped in when I'm like enjoying. Like,
Of course,
when I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is great. This is cool.
Some
like,
people are. I mean,
I
whenever
used to get like mad, and
Let's-
it would sets would go better because I was getting mad, but I wasn't having a good
let's
time.
universalize it. For you, being fun is the way you get in the moment, but for different comics, different things. You know what I mean? Some comics being really angry is what allows them to be
Yeah,
present.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like, it just depends on the comic. But in a way, it is the same as sports, where it's just being present. You know?
Yes.
Yes, you did. I think, yeah, it's just like a key part of it. It's just presence.
We're
You
just
have
trying to
be
escape
present.
the pangs of time
Of-
for a
yes,
a
the
brief
waiting
moment
room.
of time. You know?
But the Rogers thing is so fun. It's so funny. To
You
me
know where there's a lot of
because
pangs. It's in China.
That's where Rogers is gonna be playing next.
Rogers is
Doesn't
a
even have
fucking great
football there?
quarterback. I don't like what you're doing right now.
He was a great quarterback.
No, not even. First of all, he's still.
He played one day.
He's still
he
a
played one
he's a
day on the
magician.
Jets.
That guy. You'll see what happens. You'll see what fucking happens.
He's drinking in preseason.
Your hat's dumb.
It seems so obvious, the joke, but did anyone ever make a joke?
Your hat's stuck.
It seems so obvious, but did any comic ever make a joke about when they first heard about like Uyghurs being put in concentration camps? They were like,
I think you said Wiggers.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You were
They
saying
like-
Uyghurs, like Chinese Muslims.
Yeah, but they were
Okay,
like,
because I was like, wait,
Yeah,
that
Uyghurs
was a
and
part of it.
concentration
Well,
They
no,
were
no,
like,
I'm saying,
whoa,
did
if
anyone
you're
make a
gonna
joke
rap.
where like at first I heard Uyghurs, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, did
Yeah.
anyone make that joke? It's
Oh,
so
that's
obvious.
Oh, I got you. You're
But I was
messing
thinking
with
about
it.
that, but then I'm like, you can't say that word. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Wafrican, Wamerican.
That's funny too. I'm laughing now. That's great.
That was the W word, I guess. That was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a way for people to say, like, get really close to
Or,
the edge.
or ninja.
Yeah.
Ninja was my favorite.
Ninja.
What's
yeah,
up, my
yeah.
ninja? All right.
Yeah.
The
so-
Asian of that word never worked.
What was that?
Can't say it.
do you
Oh,
mean?
Just
write
throw
it down and
CH on the front
write
of,
it down and send it to me like a negotiation.
I'll do it.
We were talking about the K word that you. Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Or are you just?
You think I'm throwing out there not being Jewish?
Well, I was talking to
I'm throwing it out there.
Joe about it.
We're not,
Yeah,
wait,
but
we're not doing that.
You're brown. You can do it.
K
So-
word's kind of the harshest in a way because we never appropriated it. So really, you hear N word all the time.
I mean,
Yeah,
Kendrick, K.
Just
Dot.
in my house.
It all loops back.
But so the
oh, yeah,
point.
that's what he should have said to Drake. He should have been like, "You're my first. You're a."
Oh, Ranaan, let me get you back in the shot a little bit.
He ends up outside. He's literally like behind the glass. He's on First
He should
Avenue.
have done something. He should have been like, "You're the first letter of my first name word" or something. That's not good. Like Kendrick should have done something with a K. To
This
me, you
this is the rap I want to see. The insecure rapper where he goes, I was trying to do this, sort of. He breaks halfway in the bars.
You didn't understand.
Yeah,
I was
sort of
trying to be.
Yeah.
know? But,
I was
but
explaining.
the K word is the most shocking in a way.
You think so?
Well, it's just
I think to me the K word is not a big deal at all.
I think nobody uses it. It just feels like it's like calling it's like saying Gladys. It's like such
That's
it's
what I'm
so
saying.
antiquated.
Because
Yeah,
because it's so
antiquated.
antiquated. It's kind of
just
more
weird.
shocking to hear.
I don't know.
Jews have it worse than black people.
I think Edward has waited all day, honestly. I mean, yeah, you should. When I'm trying to get at somebody on Xbox, it just doesn't hit the same way.
But I will say, who was talking about? Was I talking like being ugly is worse than being any minority.
Yeah,
because
you're not even
if
looked
you're
at
like
as people.
black,
But if you are a minority, you're already ugly.
You're ugly.
if you're like,
You're ugly.
let's say even being black in the 60s
Is allowed. Sure.
is like you were hated by white people, but at least black people liked you.
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
ugly,
everybody
your
hates
race
you.
hates you the most.
Yeah,
you're like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
a really bad representation.
You're making us look bad.
Too
Yeah.
many of you can't be in a bar at the same
yeah,
time.
You have no. There's
People
no
start
community.
leaving.
You don't eat here. We can't have you at the front of the bar.
Being ugly is worse than anything.
You got to go through a separate door.
Yeah, that's true. You're like, why do you have to do this? A
It's
separate
not, it's
water?
not even like black people can't eat here. It's like Jim can't eat here. He
And
bums
no,
people
like-
out.
Those are the Jim Crow laws. It's about Jim Crow. He's an ugly
Jim
guy.
I was
Crow
about
it
to
is.
say. I was about to say no minority.
He looks like a bird.
I was about to say no minority's been in like a circus just because they're a minority, but I just realized that's probably not true. Back in the day, they probably had Africans in circuses.
I like. I
But
hope
also,
they.
aren't
I
your
hope they
people
introduced.
elephants.
What?
I hope they introduced it the same way they go. And coming up next, a black guy. He comes out. He's like, what?
That was really racist times. All right, next bearded lady, then the elephant man, then a black
Asian
person.
guy.
Asian.
I mean, to me, that sounds like the Cirque du Soleil.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm back.
They're
in.
putting the brothers in Ringling Brothers.
It's actually Ling Ling.
Get him in here. All right, I was gonna say this. The reason I brought up this Aaron Rodgers thing is
Tell us that you get booked at the stand.
Yeah.
every once in a while. No, I was gonna say I realized he's one of like 3 celebrities on the planet
Yeah.
that I would give a shit and go, whoa. But I
Oh,
didn't say
yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
didn't-
yeah.
He's one of the very few celebrities. I was curious, who's a celebrity that would make you go, holy fuck?
There's one for me,
Who's that?
Bob Dylan.
Oh.
But he's dead.
No,
He's
not.
not.
I know why I answered that.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan was in Sex and the City, right? Call
Bob-
back to 50 minutes ago.
That was, like,
so long ago.
yeah. You can't do callbacks on podcasts because they're all 5 hours long.
I heard that.
I want to go on Rogan and do a callback from like 12 hours before.
I heard a story. I think it was from Gnome, and he said that Dylan used to come by the cellar
No.
after he got successful, just to rub. Because
Of course, after he got.
yeah,
We would have. Yeah.
I think Gnome told this story on like a podcast or a show or
That's
something.
cool.
But he said that essentially his dad, Manny,
Yeah.
he didn't book Bob Dylan. He just like didn't. I guess he just like didn't see it or whatever
Oh,
reason.
back when it was like just like a coffee shop.
right.
Yeah.
And
I was like, damn, I haven't heard any of his material. I was like so
He
lost.
didn't get past.
Yeah, literally for 30 seconds, I was like, I did not know. He did. Like,
Because they used to
I
have, like-
genuinely didn't know what was happening.
there's like a lot of
Until you
music
said
around
I
that,
was like,
place.
Of course.
and-
Why would it? Why would? Yeah, it should be.
And apparently, after he got successful, he would come around and just to kind of be like, "Hey, you were wrong," like just to rub it in the face.
Well,
of,
he
like,
wasn't really
yes,
wrong. It became a comedy club.
yeah, but I think they used to book music and shit there.
He was like,
they-
I was wrong. I was booking musicians.
Yeah, I should have. What's the deal?
Let me up. You should let me up now. It's like, but it's no longer a musician.
Airplane peanuts.
I saw
the
Dylan-
hotel charge you water, but the ice is free.
I saw.
quite give you enough.
Some guy's like, damn, we gotta turn this into a comedy club.
Black people and the N words.
Someone's like, light.
I've seen Dylan in a concert many times, but one time I saw him and he didn't say anything, and then you would love this. Halfway through, he goes, "Give it up for Charlie Sexton on drums. He stubbed his toe in the hotel earlier. We had to call the tow truck." That's all he said all night.
That's great.
I love that he said toe twice. The second was up, but he just says toe twice.
That's great.
I love it when musicians think they're funny. It's the
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
best.
I know. I did. I was watching Colbert, and they had all the stand-ups up.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end, they had a musician go up. I guess because they did that too part of it.
Sure.
And the musician they had to like retune something, and so she was just riffing a little with the audience, and they're all laughing, and she just goes, I should have just done stand-up. This is so easy.
Oh,
I'm
God.
like, no, it's not, you cunt.
You just hear that in the taping. It's Ranaan.
Ron's like,
Fuck you
I
talking
always-
about?
He's just in a bath in the back of the room.
in a personal bath. I always want to do the opposite because, like, when you go to a show or whatever, as they're tuning or setting something up, then the musician will tell you a story about how the thing came, and I'd love to do that with like a dick joke. Just be up and be like, "This is how I like yeah, I was walking around,
Right,
sort of,
right,
like
right.
my dick was out. I thought to myself like, yeah, the
Give me an
iPhone,
idea.
yeah."
Give me an idea for a joke. It goes something like this.
And then just go like, Anyways, riding back in your old cadence or whatever.
Are any musicians actually like funny on stage?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do actually think that the
Mayer's pretty good at just riffing.
Vince Staples is really funny. Do you guys know Vince Staples?
Yeah.
Vince Staples.
I don't
Somebody told me
know.
I had
You
to
know
get
who's
my
fu-
stomach Vince Staples.
You know what's funny is Bruce Springsteen. He can be pretty funny.
Yeah,
Can he?
he's funny.
I know he was pretty funny in that solo show.
I thought the Beatles back in the day were pretty hilarious.
Can I say
Were
that
they?
fucking solo show that he did on Netflix was so goddamn great? I think I
I know.
Oh, I didn't
teared
see
up
it.
in the middle,
I didn't see it.
and then I was cutting onions, and then I watched it again immediately the second time. As soon as I finished it,
I was
played
cutting
it right
onions.
back.
I got molested around onions, so it really makes me sad when I see
You usually eat them whole. Just surprised you were cutting them.
My legs just look like onions.
I feel like your version of fat people is like they just eat onions whole and don't drink enough water.
No, you take baths.
Yeah. I guess they're funny. Yeah, but for the most part, they're not very funny.
Yeah, I'd say across the board, no. But then you have these people.
It's tough to look cool and be funny.
Well, they
But
say
that's the thing is, I think
musicians
you-
want
I
to be
think-
comedians and comedians want to be musicians.
That's true, except for the
So-
part where musicians want to be comedians. They don't.
No, they
actually
do.
want
They
that.
want to
like-
fucking
No,
be
they want to
funny
pretend,
and-
but they don't.
I got one for you, Mac DeMarco. Mac DeMarco's a funny dude. Like he's done like a lot of like.
Who's that?
You don't know Mac DeMarco?
indie
I-
guitar band folk.
Yeah. There's some
Yeah,
people
like
that
him.
have like crossed over that have done like some Comedy Central stuff.
Bob Dylan is
He wears
literally the
dresses?
latest.
Huh?
He wears dresses. Don't say he crossed over. You don't mean it. You almost made me hate the guy.
All right, I'll give you mine. I'll give you
Yeah,
mine.
who's yours? Can I guess?
Sure.
Elon Omar.
It's like
Is that her
two
name?
guys, dude.
Is that her name? What's
It's
her
like
name?
two
Wow,
fucking
okay.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, one of the things was I love chefs and like seeing.
You're
like,
just pandering right now.
No, I mean this. I saw. We were doing the roast at the store in L.A. I went over. I was with Rachel Feinstein. We went over to like get one of her bags or something.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Mario Batali groped you.
No,
Damn it.
no, that did happen. But separate story.
Okay.
Can I
no,
guess Anthony Bourdain was hanging there?
Just sway.
That's great.
People are moving him out of the way, like he's in the way.
Keep this kitchen
I'm like, this is
confidential.
like a real kitchen. God damn. I saw Wolfgang Puck. He was like 5 feet tall.
Who the fuck is that?
The,
I know he's got a restaurant,
from-
Wolfgang Puck's.
Well, he's like this like world star chef.
Well, first of
right?
all, you don't have
He's
to.
a black
You
chef?
don't have to ask who the fuck is that. The whole premise of this is the chefs.
You said world star chef. Can we just acknowledge how stupid that was?
He is. He's like a world. I meant
He
to say
is.
world
I mean, he's like
class.
one of the most
he's
famous
like a
chefs.
big-
But
I saw him and I
the
went.
fact that you're starstruck.
I was just like,
lame.
I didn't. I was lame. It was so lame. But I go, I'm like, and we had to get in the elevator, and then Rachel, yeah, he's like this tiny little guy, and then Rachel goes, she's like looking at me, and I'm like, I go, hey, we're going up on the elevator, and he was like waiting there, and he goes, I'll get the next one. The doors closed,
Oof.
and then Rachel looked at me like, she's like, I've never even seen what this side of you is, and I was like, that was fucking. Like,
That's who you go crazy for, chefs.
Yes,
you just
it's-
fan out.
I think it's so
Interesting.
cool. I think it's such a
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
like a dope thing.
Yeah. Greatest lyricist, songwriter, poet of our age, and
The guy from the
the guy,
from the TV dinners.
the guy who puts
TV
names on
dinners.
TV dinners. I'm like, for me it'd be Shakespeare. He's like Guy Fieri. That would be the one.
Guy Fieri would be so cool. Or if he's yeah. Yeah.
I heard Guy Fieri's not the most playful guy in the world. He does not like jokes.
If you look like that, I would assume that some part of it is a little bit turned up, like the character. Like I don't believe someone like that is normally like, yeah.
You know what else
Right,
is
right.
good in a soup is a turnip.
Yeah, it's like I had a friend once meet Gilbert Gottfried, and he was like, "Man, hanging out with him, he's really nothing like he's on stage." I'm like, "Yeah, really? I didn't think you meet him." He's like, "Hi, how are you? So I'm fucking my mom. It's a pleasure to meet you." It's like, yeah, I didn't
Some
think
guy's
it was
like,
gonna be.
oh my god,
Quit
holy
yelling.
shit."
He's like, "No, he's actually
Yelling,
like talks normally."
I'm whispering.
He dressed as a big duck all weekend. All right, you guys were fantastic, man. I really appreciate
You
the
guys
hell out of
didn't plug.
Yeah,
never
what do you
plugged.
guys what are you guys Instagram handles, all that stuff?
I'm at anti-Juneteenth on Instagram. No, it's
I was saying anti-Jew. Thank God it turned to being racist. at the
Anti-Jew.
end. You're like anti-Jew, and then you're like in teeth. I'm like, oh, thank God.
that's fine.
Now I'm
I
on
think
board.
last time I said at Pro 911. No, at Zahid Dewji. I'll be headlining the Lyric Hyperion if you live in LA on Saturday. So come out to that.
That's this weekend.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Come out to that Saturday, folks.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Saturday. It's we need to bring back. Somebody needs to punch a performer in the face.
What was the last one?
The Gong Show?
I'm kidding. I'm just coincidental.
Right
I'm just-
before-
yeah.
before I go in.
Go see Zahid in LA this Saturday, please. At whatever that was.
I want to get a hit, and right before I get hit, someone goes, promo code Lev.
Remember that guy tried to stab Chappelle, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I was a trans activist," but then he just happened to be like really crazy and just be like, "I want my mother to get health insurance." You're like, "What?" Like he didn't become part of any ideology.
Just a singular complaint.
Yeah.
And Raanan, what's the social media handles?
At Raanan Comedy, that's Raanan, and you go there now, you'll see a link to my special. Please watch it this Thursday night, or if this is coming out later, watch it now. Watch it, share it, like it.
Please
called
watch
Brave.
it, folks. Ranaan will be in a bath reading your comments. So
Hell
just
yeah. And Lev will be there too, looking for his
In the same
looking
bath?
for his.
That's definitely going
I'm looking. I'm looking.
looking for his hand. Yeah, comment. Say you make Lev feel good, and comment that you came here from the Lev Fer Show.
Fur.
Lev Fer Show.
Perfect. Guys, we love you. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Thanks.